My 16F girlfriend, 16F, has my name tattooed on her pubic region. This was her first, real, relationship and my second. There aren't many details I can include without this being a dead identity giveaway, but essentially, she told me she wanted a tattoo and it was going to be of my name. I asked her not to do this because obviously we might not last a long time and the idea of my name inked permanently onto somebody makes me really uncomfortable, but she said she could do what she wanted with her body and did it anyway. I believe she tattooed it onto herself using a needle and tattoo ink, but I don't know for sure because she won't tell me anything about the process or where she got the ink, only that it has been done in her pubic region. I don't like this and think something might be fundamentally wrong. Good instincts, kiddo. Yes, something is fundamentally wrong. Run, don't walk. When I was 16F, I dated an 18F who wanted to get my name tattooed on her. I told her not to, but she ended up getting my first initial tatted on her anyway. Long story short, she turned out to be fucking crazy. Years later, about 6 years I'm estimating, my best friend ended up working at the same hotel as her and this girl was still crazy and distraught about our breakup. We only dated for 8 or 9 months. She sounds a bit unstable to say the least. If you asked her not to do it, she shouldn't have, and you're both very young. Getting someone's name tattooed on you pretty much guarantees you'll break up. Lol, it keeps tattoo artists busy with cover-ups. Has she shown you? She could be lying. Especially in a spot like that, so she can't just whip it out in public to show you. Lying about that is just as bad though. Dude, okay. You're a kid, but obviously old enough to know the words I'm about to say. However fun it might be, never stick your dick in crazy. And it sounds like you've broken this rule. So, the answer is to find the nearest respectful exit and use it quickly. Oof. Missed your being a girl. Concept still applies. Change your name. So in a few years we will see her on an Ink Master cover-up episode of Bad Decisions. Bad news. Bad news. I've been with 2 people who were crazy obsessed like this and I just broke it off right away. One of them cut my name into his arm. One was a girl who proposed to me after dating for 3 days. We were also in middle school, so IDK how she thought that was gonna work. This is why sensible tattoo artists won't tattoo names. If she really did it herself, I'd say she's clearly nuts. Oh, for sure, something is very wrong. Here is where you learn a vital life lesson. There are shit tons of crazy people in the world. I expect you two will break up and I expect it will be messy as hell. Set boundaries and don't let yourself be emotionally manipulated by her. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Do not be alone with her. That kind of crazy can do some insane shit to try to keep you or punish you for leaving. Rune. Doing a tattoo like this in a relationship often spells doom for a relationship as if makes the other party feel trapped. Feeling like you can't leave their partner as it will leave them with a permanent thing they can't get rid of makes the idea of considering leaving guilt-inducing. Too much of that means you feel trapped. If you worried about how leaving will affect them, it means you can't focus as much on the positive reasons for staying in the relationship. Just know that if she becomes toxic or you just fall out of love with her for any reason, you can break up with her. It's her body and her decision. However, you said you were uncomfortable with it and she should have listened. She could use the tattoo as reason for you not to break up with her in the future and to guilt trip you into stuff, so please don't fall for anything like TBAT. It kinda sounds like entrapment. It's like she can't leave me now, I've tattooed her name on me. I'd just end things. You let her trap you. Fundamentally wrong. Hey, you ever watch Fatal Attraction? It is her body, but it's also your name. You should have been able to consent to that. All I know is that if my partner told me something I suggested doing with them made them uncomfortable, I would definitely not proceed to go do it anyway. In my limited knowledge, this seems a lot like a major issue on her end with boundaries. Run, Forrest, run. Run away. This isn't okay on significant Othermany levels. But regular women don't keep a tattooed list of the people they've been with on their cooter. It might best if you leave this relationship. Jesus. I'd comment on the clear issue with some kids these days, but I know it's nothing new and it's the parents who are at fault, but still. Despite not having any respect for your perspective, she clearly feels strongly towards you, but it doesn't come from the most favorable of ways or places. I'd advise you caution, especially when a possible or likely breakup happens, because no doubt she'll go a little wild once she loses you. who she may perceive as one of the few positive things in her life. And she might need better parenting or some counseling to help her better deal with whatever personal issues or problems she may be dealing with and handle them in a healthier way. Well, the good thing is that at least the tattoo is not on you. You won't have to live with a bad homemade tattoo on your pubic region, she will. And if you break up, it'll end up being a constant reminder to her. Hopefully she'll learn that tattooing someone's name is a bad idea, or to at least go to a professional next time. If you can, I'd probably tell her parents so they can take her to get it removed. You're 16 years old, it's not real. In 5 years the only way she'll remember your name is because it's etched onto her body. Break up with her because she's not too bright. She's a moron. Adjust your relationship accordingly. I have to say I disagree with these comments. I wouldn't worry about it, it's just a little tattoo and it can be removed, or covered, if she changes her mind. It sounds more like you aren't as invested in the relationship, which is okay. I think you're the one who needs to reconsider if you actually want to be with her, because the vibes I'm getting are that you do not. When I was 18 I broke up with my abusive ex, and he got my initials tattooed on his chest in an attempt to win me back, then told all his mates I was a bitch and a whore when that didn't work. They agreed of course I was being a bitch because, that's so romantic, but it is not. It is a red flag and hugely controlling and manipulative. Honey, be careful going forward with this. Jesus. I knew a girl who did this around your age. It didn't last. All future guys had to deal with some other dude's name in her region. F in chat for those poor saps. It's time to end the relationship. Something is wrong with her. That's a big no. You told her you didn't like it, but she did it anyway. Have you seen it? That would make me incredibly uncomfortable. Really, it would be a relationship ender. It may be her body, but it's your name and identity. She has no respect for you, so I advise you run as soon as you can. Wow. So she's crazy and you need to get out so fast you leave a human-shaped hole in the wall. Seriously. You need to get out of there. Google, borderline personality disorder, would be my advice. See what your future has in store for you. Run, baby, run. Don't ever look back. Musical note, musical note, musical note. Getting a partner's name tattooed on you at any age is mental. Think she needs to gain a few more brain cells and common sense. That wasn't smart, but it's done now. It's called manipulation. There are times when you should walk away from a relationship. This isn't one of those times. Run, girl, run. That is all. My first boyfriend did something like this. He cheated, I dumped him, so he got a similar tattoo to try and win me back. That was over 10 years ago. I often wonder if it's still there. Obsessive, clingy, naive, and 3 good reasons to get out. That isn't normal. Hopefully you can just end things and move on. Yikes. If you guys ever break up, brace for a bumpy ride. Crazy Psycho X vibes. I knew people like this in high school. They never stayed in a healthy relationship. Also, the fact she disregarded you asking her not to do it was a bit much. That's wrong. You may to consider turning around and running far, far away. Also, if you have a pet rabbit, keep an eye on it. You're 16. This isn't a forever relationship. That is next level crazy. Run as fast as you can. This girl is going to wear your skin if you stay with her. You're right to not like it. You're right that something is fundamentally wrong. Go with that feeling, embrace it, be one with it. In other words, run. Also, let your parents, or whatever adult support system you have, know what's going on, because crazy can have some unpredictable consequences and they'll be able to support you. Good luck. I hope you don't need it. Finally, don't dip your wick in crazy. Seems like you're at a point where you need to consider if you want to continue the relationship.